race here. A couple of wins at Seymour going back to the end of last year. Just under a 4-month break, no public trials, but it's been $4 into $3.20, Guesty. Very, very strong money for the 7. Obviously, the money's come for it, and you like sellers, and I'm with you, especially with the rain coming down. Not sure how much of an impact it'll have on the track at this early stage, but Zaydani, very strong money for it, Guesty.
Yeah, well, look, it was a nice win at Seymour, but gee, they went very slow early on, and it was entitled to run home the way it did, but had some really good sectionals at the last couple of, the 400 and the 200 broke 11, and then even the final 200 was 11.2, so she can finish strongly. So I can see why there's some support for Zaydani. So as I said, if you like something, back it, because I can make a case for about 7 or 8 horses here.
Okay, they're loading away quite well here, the fillies and mares for race 3 at Moonee Valley over a mile. Monofasar is an interesting run. I guess he's got it in for 30. You mentioned it's this imported mare by Cape Cross. First up over a mile. The shortest distance she's seen from 3 starts to date. He's a winner over a mile and a half there, and a maiden for Jim Crowley going back to June last year. Let's head to the track and see how the girls go in race 3 at the Valley.
Even though she was a bit raw in the straight, particularly for the second win. Here's Journey Girl being led up, and Zaydani with Luke Nolan looking to maintain the unbeaten record. Sellis looked over the odds at that $6.50. She's just drawn in. Here's Zaydani coming up. Powerflow Solutions handicap. All set. Under light rain at the Valley. Wind has eased just a bit, but not greatly. They're off. Mona Rafasari's to the start going back with Zaydani, and Contrition also dropping back. 5 abreast in the early stages. Richway Lady wide out, Sellers, and also Melodian going forward. And Part-Time Lover on the fence kicking up. They were followed by Journey Girl making ground in between. Camel Ice Girl back on the fence over Contrition. Outside of it, Mona Rafasar and Zaydani snagged to the tail of the field. Round the first bend, Sellers the front runner. Richway Lady declares it on, gets ahead in front, but Williams is not going to hand up the rail. Sellers will hold the front, heading to the back straight. Third position held by Melodian, Part-Time Lover, Journey Girl wide from Camel, Ice Girl on the fence, Mona Rafasar 3 out, trekking forward with cover. Contrition will get her back, and Zaydani will get the second favourites back at the rear. They swing down the side, 800 metres to go. Sellers in charge, a neck on Richway Lady. 3 out on the track, Journey Girl behind those, Melodian, Part-Time Lover on the fence. They were followed by Mona Rafasar, Camel in traffic, Ice Girl on the rail from Contrition. I'll tell you what, Zaydani want to get her act together at the moment. She's just off the bit there and nickled out to make ground as they near the corner. 500 metres left to run. Sellers in front, now put under pressure by Richway Lady. A length away is Melodian travelling stylishly into the race. Part-Time Lover needs a run. The others have dropped off as they turn. Favourites not in it. Homeward bound now. Front runner Sellers. Richway Lady grabbed it. And here's Melodian coming with a run from Part-Time Lover. Camel best of the rest. Richway Lady in front. Melodian trying to run her down. Richway Lady a half in front of Melodian. Melodian lunging at Richway Lady. She can't get there at the moment. Richway Lady knows Melodian in a very tight photo finish. Third Sellers, and then Part-Time Lover, Camel, Zaydani, Contrition, never likely. Mona Rafasar well back, and the strugglers at the tail, Ice Girl and Journey Girl photo.
Maybe 3 on the inside from the 2 on the outside, but gee, it's still close. 9 Sellers runs third, and number 6 Part-Time Lover. Now it looks as though it'll get 4th. Standby for confirmation. On the inside, the 22-10 shot, Richway Lady might get this for Lockie King. A mare by God's Own looking for win number 8 at start 30. May well have got it too. Now, was second last time out at Albury over a mile. Comes to town and runs one heck of a race from Melodian, number 2. And 3 Sellers at $2.10 will run third. Yeah, the inside will get this. 3, 2, 9 and 6. 3, 2, 9 and 6 after Moonee Valley race 3, 22, 10 and 4.
Oh, the NRL's on.
Run a ball, I think it's starting to push it this far out.
It's scratching of number 3. Catamat comes out taking 41 cents in the dollar for win bets and 20 cents for the dollar in place bets. Let's get you to Young and Stu Maxwell.
7:30 here.
About to go. The sun settling in the west, and they're set for me and ready for a start here. Race number 3 tonight, the Ray White Real Estate Pace. Once again,
7:30.
Missing leg stump. It was, I'm not sure it was picked that well by Cam Williams. He's normally not too bad in that situation.
Well, it's just a leggy that slid on, I think. I don't think it was a wrong one.
Well, if it does skid on and gets pace, that's a good sign.
Yeah. And again, that's good length. It's not too full, not too short. Williamson doesn't look like he wants to get down the pitch. He wants to play everything off the back foot. And it's good pace through the air. 92 k's an hour.
Terrific start from Zampa. 16 overs gone, 1 for 46, and time for a drink here at the SC.
as they come into the straight to hear the bell, and the leader is blanked up.
Heard mass gatherings of more than 500 people are set to be cancelled from Monday as Australian authorities try to limit the spread of coronavirus. Sport and festivals will be impacted, however schools, universities, public transport, airports and government business are unaffected. Australians are also being advised to reconsider all non-essential overseas travel, and late today, the Home Affairs Minister Peter Dutton became the first federal parliamentarian diagnosed with coronavirus. Political editor Andrew Probyn begins our coverage.
A big-ticket event brought down by the viral threat. The Melbourne Grand Prix cancelled at the last minute.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And the Australian cricket team
Not happy?
the Kiwis before empty SCG stands.
Oh, that's out.
Can't blame the crowd noise.
Business as usual, no longer.
We will be advising against organised, non-essential gatherings of persons of 500 people or greater from Monday.
Following unanimous advice from chief medical officers.
We're not suggesting that people should interrupt their normal daily work. It's just avoiding those particular circumstances where transmission can be accelerated.
Just enough on it.
It may be advice rather than a ban, but major sports codes will likely comply. Competition is either kept crowd-free, cancelled or postponed, with no end in sight. The NRL's opening weekend will go ahead as normal. As for round 2 and beyond,
our games will continue to proceed as planned, albeit with our stadiums will be closed to fans.
It'll affect fun runs, fetes and festivals. Large churches and mosques may have to reconfigure congregations. For now, schools, universities, public transport, airports and government business are unaffected.
Parliament's essential. Going to school's essential. Going to work's essential.
I'm more worried about my daughter's education than actually catching the virus at this point in time.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about it, given the amount of people that come to the school in and out.
To further limit exposure to coronavirus, Australians are being advised to reconsider all overseas travel.
Regardless of your destination.
And there'll be a weekly hookup of federal and state leaders to coordinate the response under a national cabinet.
We are all united. We are all absolutely determined to work together to make sure that we keep people well.
But with the advice not due to kick in until Monday, the PM's decided he won't change his weekend activities.
I do still plan to go to the football on Saturday. It might be the last game I get to go to for a long time.
Life's about to change for everyone. A huge disturbance that'll have significant social and economic impact. The government splashed $18 billion yesterday to keep the economy ticking over for the next few months. This new phase in the crisis suggests the economy might need a lot more help yet. Andrew Probyn, ABC News, Canberra.
And for more on that breaking development regarding the Home Affairs Minister, Andrew Probyn joins us live from Parliament House. And Andrew, what do we know and how will this positive diagnosis have an impact on Cabinet members?
Well, it's quite a remarkable turn of events, this one. Peter Dutton woke up this morning, had a temperature and a sore throat. He's only just returned from the United States, where he was alongside none other than Ivanka Trump. Well, on Tuesday, he's been put in isolation in Brisbane Hospital On Tuesday, he was at a cabinet meeting with Scott Morrison, other ministers, and then took a commercial flight back to Brisbane. The question now is, with Scott Morrison having rubbed shoulders with the premiers, the chief medical officer today, and the chief ministers, whether Scott Morrison has been exposed to this virus, having been with Peter Dutton just a few days ago. The Prime Minister's office is saying that their advice is that if he wasn't symptomatic in the last 24 hours and they had no contact, there's no reason for him to be tested. But one thing has happened. Scott Morrison has cancelled this trip that he was this visit to the football that he was going to make tomorrow night.
Okay, Andrew, thank you. Andrew Probyn there. Well, for many of us, an overseas holiday is something to look forward to, but now travellers are being urged to consider whether they'd be better off staying at home. It's bad news for the travel industry, which has already been hit hard by a dramatic fall in demand.
Those planning a holiday overseas are now being urged to think again.
We now advise all Australians to reconsider your need to travel overseas at this time, regardless of your destination, age or health. If your travel is not essential, consider carefully whether now is the right time.
The travel industry was already struggling. Flight Centre announced it's closing 100 of its stores due to uncertainty surrounding the coronavirus.
The net effect will be about 100 shops over the next 12 months, and a reasonable number of them should shut in the next 4 or 5 months.
It was troubling news for loyal customers.
I'm concerned because I thought they might close, but they won't. They've been around a long time.
What happens is further to shut down jobs.
The number of positions set to be axed is unknown, but the company says it'll look to transfer some staff.
They'll all be assured of relocating if they want to, but obviously in these sort of times we can't guarantee that everyone in the Flight Centre Travel Group are going to be with us forever and ever.
Virgin Airlines today followed Qantas in slashing services. Domestic and international flights will be drastically reduced to match demand. The airline says people booked on affected flights will be able to reschedule at no cost. Virgin is also abandoning plans to base a pilot training school in Tamworth.
I feel that they're using the current conditions as the reasoning behind it, when really negotiations had been going on for several months.
This is not a great thing for Tamworth, but certainly it'll take a little time to get over it.
We regret having to withdraw our negotiations with the Tamworth Council, but in the circumstances we're in right now, it isn't our highest priority.
The cruise ship industry is also suffering. Viking Cruises and Princess Cruises have suspended their entire fleets for 2 months. Affected passengers will be offered the option of rebooking at a later date, but it could be a long wait before overseas travel is uncomplicated by the coronavirus. Lily Mayers, ABC News.
And in the United States, the US President's shock announcement of a Europe travel ban has done nothing to stop the plunge in market confidence. But the pessimism isn't just on Wall Street. Venues are shutting their doors and events are being cancelled across the country in the expectation that the virus will continue to spread through the country. North America correspondent David Lipson reports from Washington.
As America ramps up its medical response, the rest of the nation is starting to shut down. In New York, the lights went out on Broadway.
I'm totally disappointed.
In California, Disneyland is about to pull up the drawbridge. And major sporting leagues have been put on ice. For those in isolation, the National Guard's been called in to help.
We're taking this day by day, hour by hour.
International airports are empty, save for relieved passengers who raced to beat the Europe travel ban.
Everyone's parents were panicking. We didn't even check out of the hotel.
On Wall Street, a $2.4 trillion Federal Reserve cash injection failed to inoculate the market, its worst day since the crash of 1987. Every hour, the number of confirmed cases grows, but the real numbers could be much more serious. Early testing kits were faulty, and they're still hard to come by. For every million Americans, just 23 tests have taken place.
You might be seeing only the tip
of a very
Not
large
good, is it?
iceberg here.
Public health officials have slammed the US response.
The imposition of a travel ban for Europeans coming to the United States is a lot like being a homeowner installing a fire alarm in your living room when you have a fire in your kitchen already.
But the president continues to insist everything is going well.
Frankly, the testing has been going very smooth. If you go to the right agency, if you go to the right area, you get the test.
Moments earlier, the president's top infectious disease official was giving evidence before a congressional hearing with a very different take on America's capacity for coronavirus testing.
Yes. It is a failure. I mean, let's admit it. The idea of anybody getting it easily, the way people in other countries are doing it, we're not set up for that.
Today, the president avoided shaking hands during talks with the Irish Prime Minister, but just days ago he rubbed shoulders with a Brazilian delegate who's tested positive to COVID-19. The White House says there's no need for Donald Trump to take a test too. David Lipson, ABC News, Washington.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's wife has tested positive for COVID-19. Sophie Gregoire Trudeau and her husband are both in isolation and are said to be feeling well. In London, the British Prime Minister has warned that coronavirus represents the worst public health crisis for a generation.
I must level with the British public. More families, many more families, are going to lose loved ones before their time.
France has followed other European nations and shut down the school system, but it's gone ahead with local elections and many public activities remain unchanged. New Zealand's Muslim community has gathered for a special Friday prayer service 1 year on from the Christchurch mass shooting. 51 people were killed in the attack, with Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern saying it's changed her country forever. Barbara Miller reports from Christchurch.
It's here that Jana Izzat feels closest to the son she lost a year ago. Otherwise, life without 35-year-old Hussein Al-Umari is tough and getting tougher.
I thought 1 year I will be okay, but I'm facing the opposite.
It was at Friday prayers that the gunmen struck. And in a special service, worshippers from both mosques targeted joined together for prayers today, almost a year to the day since the attack happened. The Prime Minister refused to comment on how she was feeling, but said New Zealand, a year on, was a different place.
I believe New Zealand and its people have fundamentally changed. I can't see how you could have an event like this and not.
Life has definitely changed for Mohammed Feroz Dita. The bullet wounds he sustained have left him unable to work since the attacks. Sleep is also in short supply.
How do you forget that? You know, you're lying in bed, it just rolls in, those screams, the pain, and just visualizing it again.
On Sunday, exactly a year after the attacks, a national service of remembrance will be held. Now, New Zealand only has a few confirmed cases of coronavirus, so far that's not threatening the event, but the weather is. Because of forecast rain, it's been moved indoors.
Jana Izzat and her husband Hazim will be there.
I missed him a lot. I don't know how I'm going to survive.
Despite it all, a year on, they and this community have never wavered in their belief that the only way to respond to this horrific crime is with love. Barbara Miller, ABC News, Christchurch.
A Sydney man who travelled to Syria and worked as a humanitarian aid giver has confessed to a Turkish court that he joined Islamic State and spent 2 years working for the terrorist group. In 2013, Mohammed Zubi went to Syria and, like many Australians, disappeared in the midst of the civil war. The ABC can reveal he'll be deported to Australia this year and may face extradition to the US. Here's Dylan Welch from the ABC Investigations Unit with this exclusive report.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. My name is Mohammed. I'm in Syria.
This is Sydney man Mohammed Zubi soon after travelling to Syria.
For the past 4 years, his whereabouts have been unclear, but now the ABC can reveal he was captured last year and sent to Turkey, where he confessed to working for Islamic State.
There seems little doubt, based on what we know, that he was actively promoting Islamic State and actively assisting in the recruitment of people to go and fight with it in Syria.
A Turkish court document seen by the ABC helps paint a picture of what Zubi's been up to in Syria.
Why send the bastards back here? We don't
join
fucking
ISIS in 2015
Send
and
the
had
country
2
to
weeks
America.
of religious and another 2 weeks of
throw him in a
military
fucking
training.
jail, forget
He was
about
a
it.
guard for ISIS for 1 week, and following his training, he worked for ISIS as an administrative officer at their transport and communication branch and as an English translator.
The document says he served Islamic State in Raqqa until mid-2017, when the city fell to a US-backed offensive and he fled. He now faces deportation back to Australia and potential extradition to the US. In 2015, the FBI accused Zubi of helping an American man, Asher Abid Khan, try to cross into Syria to join Islamic State.
What now seems pretty clear is that he's played an instrumental role in logistics, helping people cross the border from Turkey into Syria for Islamic State.
Zubi will be only the second Australian to be deported by Turkey since the country began ejecting the hundreds of Islamic State members and their relatives they hold in jails in the south. Dylan Welch, ABC News.
Disgraced Hollywood film producer Harvey Weinstein has been taken to a New York hospital complaining of chest pains. The 67-year-old was sentenced to 23 years in prison for rape and sexual assault just hours earlier. He'd undergone surgery last week to clear a heart blockage. A spokesman said Weinstein had been diagnosed with dangerously high blood pressure. South Australia's Bungala people have lost their second court bid to be included in a vote to gauge support for a nuclear waste storage facility being built at Kimber. The federal court today upheld a ruling that the District Council of Kimber did not contravene the Racial Discrimination Act by excluding the Bungala people from the ballot.
This is a real insult to the whole reconciliation movement in this country, that we can deny traditional owners a say on what happens on their traditional lands.
After the Bungala people lost the first bid last July, the non-binding ballot was held with more than 60% of Kimber ratepayers voting in favour of the proposal. Adelaide Festival organisers say nearly 400,000 people attended shows at this year's event, smashing box office targets. The 60th anniversary festival generated $5.3 million of income and many sold out.
Nana rang up today. She went to some show last night for, I don't know what it is, some fucking light festival or some bullshit. Out in the Parklands last night or something. She said to tell you, you'd really love it. You should go.
What was it?
Fuck knows, I don't know what it is. Something to do with the festival arts or something. So I don't know what it'll be. Oh, Don Burrows died.
Don Burrows has died. Don Burrows was regarded as the grandfather and heart and soul of Australian jazz. The multi-instrumentalist's passion was infectious, and he helped set up the first jazz course at the Sydney Conservatorium of Music. Don Burrows mentored young musicians, including James Morrison.
I know people know him as a great musician, of course he was, but also really to remember is that he was so involved in education and spent so much of his life passing on his gift and his love of the music.
Don Burrows helped popularise improvised music, bringing his style into homes via TV shows and at jazz festivals around Australia and the world. Don Burrows was 91.
91?
It's been another wild day on world stock markets, with the Australian market having its biggest one-day swing on record. Down another 8% at one point, thanks to the worst day since the GFC on Wall Street. Our market roared back to life this afternoon, ending the session up 4%.
Yeah, Nana reckons to tell you, you should go to this, whatever it is. It was really fantastic. So
I'll have to ask her what it was.
Something to do with the festival arts or something.
Yeah.
Some light festival or something. I didn't know what she was talking about. I'm not really interested in myself, but Christopher will really love it.
Yeah.
So if you don't think about it or don't know what it is, if she turns up Sunday, just tell her that I did tell you.
Yeah.
Otherwise she'll be very disappointed. No. If you don't want to go, just say you weren't quite feeling well. You know, you had a bit of a cold. Yeah, or a bit of something. You had a bit of gastro or something.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it is. You probably see it on your phone or
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll get the weather in a minute. 21%. Go boy, give her a good rev. Like an idiot, Jesus. Here we go.
Nice photo of a pair of New Holland honey eaters cooling off on a hot day. It was a mostly cloudy and windy day in the city today. It reached 22.7 degrees just before 3 this afternoon, after dropping to 19.3 overnight. Across the state, cloud about the southern coastal areas.
Oh boy!
Light showers at
Give it
times,
to it.
but it stayed hot and mostly sunny in the north. Tops ranged from 17 degrees at Parawa to 40 at Oodnadatta. To the charts and cloud over northern Queensland with a low, and a monsoon trough is generating heavy rain and storms, while a trough and front in the southeast is producing similar conditions there. Tomorrow, a low over southern parts of WA with
give it to it.
and the odd storm. Onshore winds should also direct showers along the eastern seaboard. Interstate wet in Perth reaching 25 degrees, similar in Sydney with 21, and possible storms of 34 in Darwin, just 15 degrees in Hobart. Back home, and it'll be dry throughout, apart from the slight chance of showers about the far west coast, up to 30 in Coober Pedy and 22 in Whyalla. Staying fine and mostly sunny further south with fresh winds about the coasts, a top of 21 in Clare, 18 for Kingscote. And a strong wind warning has been issued in 6 coastal districts for tomorrow, including the Spencer Gulf. We can expect a sunny day in Adelaide, a top of 21 degrees after tonight's low of 11. On the waters, southeasterly winds up to 25 knots with seas up to 1.5 metres. Sunrise at 7:13 and sunset about 20 to 8. Looking ahead, and it'll remain sunny until Monday when it reaches 28 degrees, then warming up to 31 on Tuesday and Wednesday, 24 on Thursday, then down to 20 degrees this time next week. That's the latest from the Adelaide newsroom. Thanks so much for your company.
So Mystico gets into the right spot, and I'm glad there's no more rain about because I think the good score's okay. I wouldn't want it to end at a soft range. The Mystico.
Mummy, are we going to miss our holiday?
Well, the Broncos.
Huh?
The Broncos.
Yeah, we'll see how good they are. I don't know what sort of recruits they did this year. They fucking need some more players, I know that. Otherwise they just have another dead year.
Yeah, see what form they're in. See what form they're in.
See what?
See what form they're in.
Oh, I see what form they're in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, see what happens. The coach, the fucking dog.
So the AFL will go ahead, but with no fans. Oh, it should be alright.
Oh, I just hope all this bullshit's over with sooner than later.
Yeah.
You know, it just disrupts everything, fucking everything. You know, and it gives them in the shits too. This fucking Chinese. Look at this cunt. As a singer's arsehole. He's an Elizabethan, this dude.
Oh,
he came from fucking Elizabeth. Never liked him. Oh, piss off.
Oh.
Surely they could do better than him fucking sing their song.
Oh, the Broncos.
Yeah, that was Tallis. He was a bulldog, he was. Oh, get your fucking head off it. Cameron Smith, yeah, I've got a lot of time for him. Here we go.
With us, this is the moment, gents, we have all been waiting for. Greg Alexander, Stan Burgess and Corey Parker in the studio, our Queensland derby. And the headline act this evening, Valentine Holmes, home at last stand. Are you expecting him to have an immediate impact on this Cowboys side?
I think he'll bring something to the game. We'll see some excitement. He's a very powerful ball runner. I'm not sure he'll hit the ground running.
Oh, mate.
Get
her again.
The Cowboys.
You haven't quite got it right yet.
The new stadium.
Grab the fucking guts out of it.
You know, I'll certainly be excited.
Fucking idiot.
So interesting to see how he goes tonight, but he'll definitely have something.
He's been pretty quiet lately.
Jimmy Barnes before the game.
He's been making up for it.
How was that? We just saw some vision there of Val in his trial game against Melbourne Storm, just popping up again through that middle third. Here's some of the highlights when he was in with Cronulla. He won't miss a beat. I know you're saying it might take some time. He won't miss a beat. He's 12 months out of the game. It's not like he hadn't played a game. He's a supreme athlete. Strong, powerful. He'll have an immediate impact, I believe, with the North Queensland Cowboys.
Yeah, when he was at the Sharks, remember there was debate over whether he was going to play fullback or not, and he started on the wing, and then they moved him to fullback. But for those games that he played at fullback for the Sharks, I think there was an argument that he was the best player in the game during that period. I thought he was fantastic. I agree with Corey. I think he missed the beat. I think 12 months out of the game won't hurt him. as long as he's fit, he's trained with them all summer, he'll be ready to go.
Well, the wait is over. It is time for kickoff. Here is your commentator, Dan Gannett.
Thank you, Hannah Hollis. What a night this is in Townsville. Brodie Croft. He has not played a game in Broncos colours in the NRL, but he is a co-captain, really laying down the law. And they will make their way onto the park shortly. The Cowboys will get to unveil this brand new, beautiful brand new stadium. Look at this. Typical Townsville night. It's around 30 degrees, 55% humidity.
Well, that's right, isn't it?
It's got its own personality. From certain angles, it's got a Bank West feel, but then very open at one of the ends, and it's quite airy. It is uniquely Townsville. And Brodie Croft, along here with Patrick Carrigan coming out with the Broncos. It's only appropriate that the Broncos play the Cowboys here to open the stadium. Kevin Walters, this is an exciting night.
Oh, it's a brilliant night for rugby league, isn't it? Brilliant night for both the Broncos
Yeah, I
and
don't
the
think they've got too many
Cowboys.
good new players.
There'll be a lot in this match. There always is. And particularly this year's opening up this brand new stadium.
Oh, sorry, yes.
What a night it's going to be.
Jamono Zarko takes the fullback position after that heartbreaking injury for Jack Bird, and Herbie Farnworth
Bird's injured.
will join the Broncos bench, the young Englishman. And here come the Cowboys, a moment years in the making. This stadium had been mooted since around 2011. It was Jonathan Thurston's speech at the 2015 Grand Final that really got things going. Turf was turned for the first time in 2017, and here we are. And the fans, despite the spectre of the coronavirus, they are here in droves, a packed house. The North Queensland Cowboys, welcome to your new home.
Well, you can see the excitement on the faces there, wasn't it, of the Cowboys players as their team comes up on left of screen. Some big names in the Cowboys, particularly Holmes, who's been all the talk of the town, hasn't he? Valentine Holmes and that man there as well. Michael Morgan, the captain of the side. Striking a great combination up.
Yeah, Scott Drinkwater. He was so impressive in the nines and in the trials. And we will have a moment here just to recognise some of the emergency services personnel and volunteers that were part of the bushfire efforts. Round one has been dubbed round one for all. And then you can see salvationarmy.org.au/NRL if you'd like to donate. And some of the heroes getting a well-earned round of applause. A spectacular sight here. These two teams have engaged in some wonderful battles over the years. And they're just about ready to do it again. The Cowboys, a couple of lean years, but hopes are high. Ben Hampton back from an injury. So many Cowboys were hurt last year. And look at this. A magnificent stadium and a magnificent occasion for our first NRL clash at Queensland Country Bank Stadium.
Seems only fitting that Kyle Felt launches the first ball of this magnificent stadium into the air.
He broke Broncos' hearts, didn't he, those years ago in the grand final? And here we go, an old rivalry and a new stadium. Sit back and enjoy a Friday night blockbuster. And what a start that's gone out by miles.
Carl Felt probably just adjusting to the new stadium. That one not quite right off the boot. Got plenty of hang time, but he put it over the sideline there.
Well, it's interesting, Kev. It wasn't a short kick trying to somehow get the ball back. It looked quite conventional, but he's completely miscued it. What a chance here for Brisbane. Come into this game. Of course, they have lost Jack Bird, Matt Lodge not there, Joe Offahengawi, Alex Glenn. Let's see what they've got here. They've still got a young brigade of tyros like this man, David Fafita. Broncos have a good recent record against the Cowboys. They've won 4 of the last 5 meetings. Thomas Flagler in the front row position with Lodge out of this game. So the Broncos inside the 20. Turpin to his favourite position of hooker. Carried him to Croft. There's Fafita again, but the defenders were waiting. Crowd a little stunned here. Milford. The big buffalo, Kane Haas. That's the 10-metre line where he'll be made to play the ball. Lupin sends it to Croft. Milford. And Arias Boyd out of the centres. Cowboys handled that pretty comfortably. They have one more play to endure. Milford. His kick pretty well weighted, but Justin O'Neill. Right, a heavy hit there from Fafita. And now we've got a bit of a spot fire here. Gavin Cooper was none too pleased with that late shot from Tavita Pangai.
Yeah, I think he might be in a bit of trouble here, Pangai.
Excellent take from O'Neill considering. Oh, yes.
Ooh. Give him one.
Yes. He was suspended 3 times last year for the Broncos.
I think you'll find that'll be the end of the day. For O'Neill as well, he doesn't look too good on the sideline there.
So Tavita Pangai, he gives away a penalty here, and the ball put into touch for North Queensland.
Oh, you can feel the floor vibrate from the car.
Yeah, I know.
Surprisingly on report there.
Bloody hell.
With a bit of a back catalogue of charges.
He's been a bit quiet lately. He must have been away on holidays. He's certainly making up for it.
The Broncos considering the injury toll. Jason Tamalolo down the middle. What a start to his season. He's got 20 metres.
Not a bad first carry in new stadium there.
So the Cowboys inside Broncos territory. Giaziana played so much footy in the halves last year. As one of the prop forwards tonight. Morgan, Drinkwater, O'Neill, he's recovered. He looked on just a minute ago. He's Hampton. As the Cowboys run towards the middle with McLean. Final play now. Granville. It's Drinkwater to kick. Not the worst kick of all time. And back there is Isako. It's a result for the Cowboys. They will get this ball back.
Well, it was an interesting kick, wasn't it? From Drinkwater targeting Arthur's on this. There's the run from Tom Malolo. Look at that, straight through the middle of the Brisbane defence. Pangai comes again. There's 4 of them there, Dan. Trying to wrestle the big man to the ground.
Round 1 last year, he made 300 metres against the Dragons. 200 metres a game was about the norm.
HIA.
Is it all right now? They fixed it. They have this system. Heads in.
So you heard it there through the effects microphones. HIA was used but not required, it seems.
Well, the scrum was in the middle of the field.
Comes out to the Cowboys left. Now Holmes' first touch. He was dragged over the sideline and he's lost the ball. So an inauspicious return to the NRL for Valentine Holmes. As the Broncos force an error.
Yeah, it's an early let up there for Brisbane. The ball coming loose in the tackle from Holmes. That scrum in the midfield. Must have just lost it there somewhere, Dan. There were some hands in around the ball from Brisbane, but...
Tony Staggs, it seemed, was doing the bulk of the work there. No real demonstration, no remonstration from Holmes that it was a wrong decision. He just seemed more disappointed with himself.
Yeah.
So a few nerves in this game. The ball was fed before the shot clock went off. Isako. Strange old pre-season he had. He trained at fullback. Then had, by Anthony Seibold's standards, a poor 9s, and that was enough for Isako to lose his spot at number 1. We all know what happened to Jack Bird this week, so Isako returns to the fullback role.
Well, he's a talented player, Isako, if he can get his head right. Very good attacking player, great on his feet, highly skilled player.
So Haas with the quick play of the ball. Fleetwood. 23 games last year, so he certainly used the first growth by now. Milford on the last. It's a wobbly one. Easily pounced by Felt. Didn't start last season until about 2 months. He was still the Cowboys' top try scorer. His son Masters, 61 games with the Western Tigers. He can offload and he thought about it there, and he does. Slip it away to Drinkwater. He's now, he goes on to O'Neill. Van Hampton. He's got every position in the back line over the years. Winger for the Cowboys. Tamalolo, well handled that time for Vida and Flegler. Leading the midfield. Granville, Morgan. There's Holmes lurking around the middle.
Yeah, it's a good play there from the Cowboys. Well defended from Brisbane.
Right on the last, Cohen Hess finds Masters. Training away defender. The dribbling kick, but he managed to put good the ball again. Ozarko had positioned himself perfectly. Few nerves here. Not surprising, it's a full house. You've got two teams with a point to prove.
Yeah, both teams want to obviously get their season off to a great start by winning. And there's plenty of intensity in this one as well tonight, isn't there? We saw that last night in the Bulldogs Eagles game. Same case here tonight.
Darius Boyd now playing against us. Made the New South Wales Origin team last year. Made the end of year tests as well. Was Croft taken by Greenville, but that seemed fine. Hampton there with the first one.
Oh, missed him. Oh, Jesus.
Justin O'Neill. A horrible injury last year. A ruptured spleen. Needed 3 blood transfusions. All sorts.
He's going to have to come off, I think, Dan. He's been belted again there. I feel for Justin O'Neill. They've targeted him. Took a bad knocks.
He's limping too.
Holmes with a hobble. As Jordan McLean rumbles it up over halfway. Morgan. This time with the torpedo kick. Zarko didn't look comfortable. He did well not to panic. He played 4 games for the Broncos last year at fullback and only made the 1 error. His urines are made in there, Kev. Justin O'Neill coming from the field.
Yeah, he'll have a HIA.
Not a flawless system, is it, the HIA? Sometimes it takes a little longer than it should, but it won't result in the end as he comes off. Last year, it was a thriller to close the old stadium. Jake Turpin scored for the Broncos with 90 seconds left. With Brisbane an 18-14 win. Let's see how Holmes runs here after appearing to have a hobble. It looks okay there. Boyd first to meet him and Fafita in the chase as well.
That's good return carry though from Holmes.
Masters picked off. Cowboys, one of their dilemmas has been scoring points. They averaged 15 a game last year. Hoping desperately that the flair of Holmes and what Masters could give them. Oh, an attempted steal from Milford. As the Cowboys get up over halfway. And Granville hunting down the short side. Masters. Turpin around the legs. Asiata. Morgan hurries the kick. Easy for Ozarko. And Felt slips off the tackle. But Cooper is there.
Well, it started with a frantic pace this game, hasn't it? Head-to-head stuff. Not many errors coming in from either side. It's a kick chase battle here. Both teams throwing everything at each other.
And it is hot. There's Haas. His 5th run so far tonight. Carrigan, the least experienced captain in NRL history. Just his 3rd start as a Bronco. Brady Croft, nice little show of footwork there. Milford.
Oh, he's dropped it! Oh! Fucking! He fucking bumped him on the head!
Well, he's a good player, this bloke.
Oh, fucking hell, cunt.
He hits the belly of the ball and it spirals out of control. Very difficult to catch.
Oh.
And Holmes on this occasion just gets it wrong. Let's have a look at Milford here. Right on the belly of the ball. You can see the spiral, the torque that he puts on it.
Oh.
Nice kick, Milford. Difficult one for Holmes. See here, it just loses it
Oh.
right last minute off the shoulder.
So here come the Broncos. Had a chance early. See what they've got this time. There's Turpin. He fires first. Flag on. Tamalolo around the ankles.
Oh, touch line.
Plenty of tackles here.
Yes! Oh!
He scored the last try at 1300 Smile Stadium, and he scores the first at the new Townsville Stadium.
Well, Jack Turpin pulled the Cowboys pants down yet again.
Oh, he's done it.
Just a simple play, a simple show at dummy half. The Cowboys defence split. Valentine Holmes and Jordan McLean were the 2 players. Let's just have a look here. Goal defence is everything. And on that occasion, they're not up to it. The Cowboys, were they?
That was clever. That was so
This is
good.
his preferred position, but because of injuries
That was fucking
last
clever,
year,
that one.
he was used so often as a halfback.
Ah.
I should point out he scored the last try in a Broncos Cowboys game at the old 1300 Smiles.
Yep.
There you go. Half his tries in the NRL were against North Queensland in his very young career.
Oh.
The extravagant dummy, and it was enough.
That was clever.
Yeah, just a little bit
Fucking took
being
time.
away from the game for 12 months there from Valentine Holmes. And this guy is a real competitor, Jack Turpin. A huge battle between himself and Andrew McCulloch through the pre-season, fighting for that number 9 jersey, and he has won out. And it's a great try from him.
So the Isako, not surprisingly, he's back in the starting side to do the kicking.
Pretty good.
And there's a hush over this Queensland Country Bank Stadium. The Broncos with the first try of the night. As we watch here.
It was just so simple, Dan, wasn't it?
Holmes and McLean, the men who fell for that dummy.
Yeah, they both went the other way. Well, virtually most of the Cowboys were expecting the ball to go to the right.
That was good, wasn't it?
Brady Croft to make the kick on last play, but Turpin had other ideas.
Don't forget,
Fucking hell, that was good. That was clever, that.
Super Saturday.
He
and
fucking,
tomorrow
yeah.
kick it off with Newcastle versus the Warriors. It's the Knights' first hit out under new coach Adam O'Brien, of course. And South Sydney versus Cronulla. That is the second game.
Oh, he's lost it. Fucking useless bastards.
What a chance this is. Drinkwater. Morgan. Now back inside the Masters. And this will be the 0 tackle.
I've got to say, Masters looks very fit. Good pre-season for the young fella.
What a chance to hit back. This is Granville. Croft rushing up out of the line. Well, we got all or nothing there and came up trumps. Here's Cooper. His 15th season of NRL. He was asked, is this his final year? He said, who said it's the last hurrah? Now Tamalolo. It takes 4 of them to get involved. Morgan. Masters. The 2-on-2. He takes on Boyd. Milford across as well. Morgan shows to Asiata. Now Drinkwater. Now Holmes. Now His class shines through. A tough start to the night. But he scores the first Cowboys try.
Well, there's the class of Valentine Holmes. Look for this play to be seen time after time after time again this year for the Cowboys. Here's the carry back from Payne.
You fucking lost it.
Under the ball tackle from Gavin Cooper, the 309 gamer. Forces the error, and then a wide shift here from the Cowboys. Morgan shoving the ball, bringing the two key playmakers into it, and the speed of Holmes just confused Arthur's there. And he's got the strength and the power to get across the line. Morgan, good work on the inside, just holding defenders up, allowing Drinkwater to do his stuff. And then Valentine Holmes, well, we've seen that from him time and time again. Look, last year, Denver, the year before.
A play like that makes you think it's like he's never left. His last game, September 2018.
Yeah, and the key there was, look, people at home, Holmes running with the ball in two hands out in front. Well, that's where he attracted the attention of Jesse Arthurs. He wasn't sure whether he was going to pass it or run. If he had it tucked up under his wing, Arthurs could have come in and shut it down, but Holmes, being the player that he is, 23 tries in. That's not a bad record, is it?
Yeah, scored 22 in his final season before his NFL stint. Said it only took him 2 weeks to get back to his rugby league playing weight. Went over as a 90-kilo player, bobbed up to 94, and then dropped back to 90 in a fortnight. He's handy at this as well, but that he leaves out to the right. So the Broncos retain their lead. But as usual, when it's the Cowboys and the Broncos, it is tight.
Yeah, it certainly is, and as I said earlier, this will be a play that the Cowboys go to. Morgan, a key player for the Cowboys this season, onto Drinkwater, another key player for them. Just straightens up enough there to attract defenders. And then Holmes with the ball in two hands. Look, still plenty to do here. He's got to twist and turn and get that ball over the try line. He does it with a lot of class. That's the player that he is.
Nice early signs for Scott Drinkwater as well. He came to the Cowboys to be a fullback midway through last season after things didn't go his way at Melbourne. So far, so good.
A lot of his junior football was played in that 6 jumper, so it's not something that he hasn't had a lot of success at through the younger age groups. Terrific player as well.
Up here for the Cowboys on play number 2. You can see the players really sweating it up. Surprising at these temperatures, typical North Queensland night. It's a beautiful new venue. And then the market with his impressive first run. Almost up to halfway there. As the owner again, busy. Lies opposite number in Flegler. Morgan.
Oh.
Running it on a previous set on the last. Masters this time goes to the air. Isako with confidence.
Yeah, it's one thing that he doesn't do. Jermaine Isako has confidence, really flying through the air there to secure possession. Attempted to run the ball a couple of times, haven't they, the Cowboys down that right edge to Masters. It's a good carry.
Jesse Arthurs, the former Gold Coast Tigers player, real project of Anthony Seabold. Had him at Melbourne in the under-20s and also at South. And that's what he sees. Milford through the hands now. Katoni Staggs almost dangerous. There's that hand Arthurs. And he flicks it straight to Drinkwater. Now the Cowboys with Holmes.
And Justin O'Neill has failed that HIA as well. He won't be back.
And a great surprise there. Don't have any backs on the bench. You see some teams.
Where's he bleeding, one guy?
Extra back, but before reshuffle for North Queensland. Masters with the pass. McLean flat-footed. Still manages to carry it beyond the 30. Granville with blood on the left side of his face there. Tamalolo with footwork.
carry again. What's Morgan got?
And that's a floater. Here's Phil. It looked dicey, that pass, and it has been called forward. And when they have run it on the last, they always aim their guns to the right.
Yeah, well, Masters is obviously a go-to player for them, strike centre that they pick up in the off-season, and that's Michael Morgan's favourite part of the field as well, that right side. We've got one on Jake. A bit.
Inches will be right there. Number 8. Shows
Number
my
11.
face.
Yeah.
And Human Nature, I suspect, is going to be from
Oh.
that gate, just hit right behind them. I went with number 6.
Really good. Yeah, there he is. He's got blood all over him.
Right in the centre of Townsville. A beautiful location.
Walk from the ground back to the city. How easy.
There's trains, there's a bus depot nearby. It's just about perfect. What is not perfect is Jake Granville's left eye.
I think he'd be alright, just clearing up that blood. Like a bit of something on it to stop the bleed, and then on we go.
Oh,
Well, he got one in the head.
Friendly fire.
Well, his own player.
Granville, one of the few remaining members of the 2015 Cowboys Grand Final winning side. There's 6 of them left in this side here tonight. Of course, he played for the Broncos as well for a couple of years before moving up north.
Yeah, he certainly did. He's had a great career, hasn't he? But Reece Robson is the number 14 for the Cowboys tonight. He's a brilliant young player coming through as well. So
It'll be interesting how they play that, because Granville's a big minute player, but there's huge raps on Robson. They've signed him to a 4-year deal. So we'll see how that balance plays out. And Thomas Flingler earning a penalty. That is just the 3rd penalty in this game. That is also a hallmark when these two sides get together. It's end to end, it's fun.
Cass Village, the last one. Bavaro being nursed to the bend. She's a neck in front of Heavenly Bridges. Human Nature being scrubbed along about the chase. Back on the fence is Pleasant and Goalspark. Best of the rest as they turn. Bavaro's got company. Heavenly Nature moved up on the... Heavenly Bridges moved up and grabbed it. Human Nature's about to grab the pair. Then Goalspark, but Human Nature moved up, took the lead. Bavaro's kicking back. But Human Nature is too big. He's too strong. Runs away with the money from Goalspark. Bavaro. Heavenly Bridges in a photo with the late finishing McGarrett, then Sasayuri. They were followed by Go Jazz, Cass Village, and back at the tail of the field, Pleasant in front of that pair.
7.
He puts on the step and he gets up.
oh my God, look.
Cooper slipped off the tackle. This should be fine. And Katoni snags with the unique celebration. Puts Brisbane out further in front.
yeah, he's a dangerous player, isn't he? Katoni Staggs. A little bit clunky with the movement on this right edge of Brisbane. Brinkwater was the man who came out of the line, which put the Cowboys defence under pressure. And Gavin Cooper not quite able to get there. And over goes Staggs. Have a look at this try celebration.
What is it, Kevy?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm trying to work it out. There's Brinkwater out of the line, which straight away puts pressure on outside defenders. If you're coming out of the line like that, you've got to make your tackle. And Cooper just not enough speed to match it with Staggs. There we go. Getting the hands warm, are they, Dan?
Looks like it. We'll need further explanation on that one, but Katoni Staggs, 11 tries last year. And he's versatile. He was part of Tonga's famous win over Australia at the end of last year, and he was a halfback in that game. Now, you know, they're spraying. It's a hand sanitizer.
Oh, the hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer. So there's Darius Boyd. He's not the captain, but he's giving out the instructions there.
It's a good kick, this guy. He'll probably get it. Yep.
Nice looking kick from us.
Oh, yep.
See, one thing about it, he's a good kick.
Look at that. Oh.
Yeah, they've had a good start, Brisbane, haven't they? Making use of their possession.
Oh, try.
Good hands from Croft. He's a
Hey,
real line breaker, this
you
kid.
need him in the head, but
Tony Staggs. Loves the try line. There's the try celebration. Some of the Cowboys fans not entirely happy with it, but Broncos fans are.
They're looking out for their health. They're doing sanitary care.
Yeah,
you can't ask for any more than that in these times.
Very smart.
If you missed the news, the NRL announcing today that the remainder of this weekend's games will be played as normal with crowds, but then round 2 will be played behind closed doors, and that'll be the situation until further notice. As the nation and the world remains in the grip of coronavirus. Don't forget, the Professor is back. The narrow world of sport. The Professor and Barney. Emma Lawrence is part of the team as well, so as usual, after Friday night footy here on Fox, we've got the Professor with narrow world of sports this year. Val Holmes. Hampton. Flegler there. Over the top as Rainville explores. He takes a few steps as the Cowboys roll up over the halfway line. Geez, Masters has looked good, hasn't he? Andrew Porter, dummies once, dummies twice. Can't choke off the most recent try scorer stats. Now Morgan on the last, nothing extravagant this time, just putting it up. And it's a contest as well. Val Holmes ball kick by Zarko, but the Broncos come up with it. Bit of a fortunate bounce there.
It was, wasn't it? As the Broncos now attempt to bring the ball off their try line. The feeder being a handful as usual. Well, the Brisbane outside backs coming in, give their big men a hand here. Darius Boyd for a carry.
His fourth run of this first half. Quite a fair bit of centre Darius Boyd, but only 3 games in the last 12 years. Perfect pass. That's legal.
Well, they will be coming to this right edge as much as they can because Mitch Dunn is defending in the centres.
Nothing wrong with that tackle with Boyd. Good ball from there. Just cartwheel. Now Phil to bring it back here. To the Cowboys. That's what it is.
As we see a penalty go the Cowboys' way. It's nice work there from Kyle Felt. Brought that ball back with plenty of vengeance. And got up quickly to play the ball. Caught the Brisbane defence offside.
This is a very similar run of play to so many recent Cowboys-Broncos games where the Broncos actually usually have the better of the first half. The Cowboys usually come back. Don't win all the time, but this is following the old pattern of the last few years. The Cowboys now with a chance, and Tamalolo running over Carrigan, who just holds on. Now Granville. Almost getting past Ozarko. And Pangai important as well. Here's the clean passing to Morgan, and now on to Cohen Hess. Back in the second row after spending a bit of last year in the centres. McLean dropped it, but it went forward. It went forward.
Yeah, it did go forward. Obviously, the ball getting a little bit slippery. A lot of sweat on the players' jerseys. They look to be in good control, the Cowboys, when they do have possession. Some little opportunities for both teams from Iron. Defensively, they found a few little chinks both the Broncos have, of course, and also the Cowboys in each other's defensive lines.
See those completion rates, pretty similar to last night actually at Bankwest Stadium, around the high 60s, low 70s. Not all that surprising in round 1, especially with these stifling conditions. Patrick Carrigan. Broncos have made the finals 6 straight seasons. Of course, it was a big exit last year, which has the spotlight shining on the club as Haas over halfway. And Milford under a little bit of pressure. He can often do something with this. He's put Turpin under his own pressure. Turpin does do well to get moved the ball and get it deep. Now Holmes, 1-on-1 with Croft. The reports coming out of the trials, Kevin Walters, was the Croft-Milford partnership. Despite Brisbane not having great form in those trials, those two actually seem to meld quite well.
Yeah, they are a good combination, aren't they? They will be.
Frank Milo's offload here, Kev. Just giving a bit of second phase play. Kyle Felt looking inside the 30. He's Masters hunting. To the Cowboys with a couple of tackles left here. Tamalola. Drinkwater. An effective kick earlier. This time. A courageous take. Jesse Arthur's coming forward. He does well.
Oh, it's a brilliant take from Arthurs. Under all sorts of pressure from the Cowboys' defence. Sure about what they were doing there, the Cowboys. Could have been easily a penalty Brisbane's way.
Yeah.
Missed it from the referee. Mitchell Dunn certainly taking the Broncos winger into mid-air. Milford from inside the 40 out of dummy half.
Good tactics from Milford.
It's a terrific kick. Right on the angle. Holmes throwing across there. It's on the Broncos defence. Now the pass to Felton. He's got some room down that right side. The Cowboys start their set pretty decent field position. It's Cohen Hess now. Masters on the next play. His 10th run in this first half.
He's certainly been busy, hasn't he? Coming in with that right edge and helping his forwards out. He's a dangerous ball runner.
Number 18 for North Queensland, Corey Jensen. He played 6 games last year. And the number 16 for Brisbane man is Reece Kennedy as the changes come through. Morgan almost through. No, there he goes for the big pass. Phil couldn't reel it in.
Well, I've been waiting for Michael Morgan to challenge the line. He's a terrific ball runner. Showed his strength there. Just squeezing through the gap here. Milford took the show, got through for Feeder, but he just couldn't get to his feet. Just had to find Masters there, and there was try time for the Cowboys. Brisbane will get the scrum and they'll take the option to play it in the middle of the field again. We see this a lot, don't we, Dan, now?
It seems to be the most common of the choices. Remember, team can pack the scrum, 10 metres in for a touch, the old position, 20 metres in for a touch, or centre field. It does seem the most popular centre field. Arthur's from dummy half. Inside the last 10 now, this first half. Angai Jr. down the short side, he runs over the top of Mitchell Dunn. And that is Jamil Holloway on the field and straight away, ball under the arm.
His first carry in the NRL.
Good story, some adversity. Got a second chance, he's making the most of it. He's paying us now up to the 30.
New Jersey.
Milford's kick here finds the grass, but it's comfortable. Really warming into this after that nervous start. Try has certainly put him in the right frame of mind.
Brisbane trying to lift him with their defence, aren't they? Getting some good numbers in defence and good line speed, trying to limit the metres here of the Cowboys.
He's highly regarded as the Cowboys. Awards at the end of season. Cowboys awards, the coaches player of the year. Tamalolo will put it up. And Morgan with the high kick towards the winner post, who's allowed it to bounce. Now this is interesting. It's bounced back and hit him. And it's a Cowboys feed. A horror error from Corey Oates. He thought it was floating out on the full. And a wicked bounce has done him in.
Well, you have to feel for Corey Oates here. For all money, that ball was going out. And unfortunately, it's for Corey Oates and the Broncos, it's bounced in the field of play. Look, centimetres in that. And then straight into the big frame of Corey Oates. Darius Boyd claiming it went out.
So the Cowboys, what a chance. Tamalolo. Oh, he just shrugs them away. Still going. Oh, big tackle.
Yeah, get that in here.
Taking Tamalolo off his feet. And Drew Porter. The Jensen. A settler here. Cowboys looking for their second try. Granville goes back to the left. Reported to Cripper. Comfortably contained. And here's Drinkwater picking up with Morgan. Now Collins. This is trouble. Oates flew off his line. And Kyle fell. A saloon passage to the line. So simple but so effective. And the Cowboys tightening the margin.
Just going upstairs to confirm the grounding here.
He looks a little sheepish there, but he'd be fine.
Yeah.
It's a one-look job, that.
I don't know if he misses those ones too often, Kyle felt. But that's the side to attack for.
Double getting up for second with a big run on the outside, Shiny Nose. They were followed by the favourite there, Sunday Quilly, and then We Got a Million at the head of the others. They were being followed next time by Mr. Automatic, and then came further back was Briar Jet there, Abby Boom in amongst them, and will stand by for placings in 23-25.
8617 2325. The run Lara's double $6.40 $1.90. Numbers are Shepparton in the previous through. 13 Stars by the Beach was your winner. There is 6 Do Not Surrender, 10 Fire Rock Fire Roll, and 5 Frankie was 4th. Warrigal next.
Fucking hell, they're useless, this mob.
Here,
Oh, they were abandoned. That's why I didn't see it. So they got cancelled.
Why would that be?
Maybe they were.
Two tries all.
Good kick, mate.
Versions as yet for North Queensland. So it's goal kicking
Lifted again,
these
so.
two sides, but it's only goal kicking. It's Kyle Felt. It's the first of likely to be many for North Queensland.
Yeah, certainly was. I mentioned he was their top try scorer last year. And some of the form we've seen from him tonight will be right there again this year.
Been their top try scorer each of the last 4 seasons.
Just had a really good finish to the year last year.
So the Payne Haas has already cracked the 100-metre mark. Tamalolo is not that far behind on 86.
There's some big numbers there, Dan, isn't there, into half time?
Well, Haas and Tamalolo were 1 and 2 in the NRL for forwards last year. And no surprise to see them picking up big numbers early. And Morgan comes from the left this time. Quarter gives it to Dunn. Gavin Cooper. And by Reece Kennedy. Inside the last 5 of this first half, so Granville thinks he might have some tired markers. As he goes for a gallop, and now Drinkwater surveys. Now aiming for third screen. Brilliant catch! Now Masters with space. Inside the 10. That's offside. That's a penalty.
It's inside 10. We've got inside 10. We're offside. Just wait. Other line, boys. Just inside 10. Yeah, it was again. Get the last play from the Cowboys. I thought he was going to run that Drinkwater, but then he saw a little bit of space to put the ball into. It was a Philp up against Oates. Philp wins that one. And then Masters. Plenty of Broncos defence there. Puts the kick through, and of course Fafita offside. Well, obviously they kick the ball up. We're just going to tap and go here, the Cowboys.
Makes sense. The goal kicking's not quite there, and what a statement this would be if they can put on back-to-back tries just before half-time. We have 3.5 minutes left. Now Reece Robson enters the game. The former Dragon in number 14. Morgan. Drinkwater. The dummy. Oh, he got past Pangai. Croft with the clean-up work. They play the ball. Morgan's going to have a go. And he's put that one down. Heavy tackle, and the ball came out on the way down. Good work by Kennedy. And a chance lost for the home team. Although, hang on.
Okay. Cowboys are challenging the ruling of the knock-on.
Well,
the captain's right.
We're due to get one. We're none from 3 so far
We got a scrum.
in this NRL season.
Sorry? Let's just have a look here.
Now, is it a strip or is it a loose ball carry? An argument could be made that it was it even lost at all.
Well, he's got it there, hasn't he? In his right, his left hand. Well,
this is tricky.
This could go either way, Dan. Is there an advantage in any of this? I suppose they go off the on-field original decision on field.
If there's not enough evidence to overturn, it would be denied.
Michael Morgan loses possession of the ball. Challenge is unsuccessful against North Queensland.
We're none from 4 this year. We did see a successful one in the Charity Shield, but it'll take probably a few weeks, Kev, for the players to learn what you can challenge and what you can't. In the sense of what's likely to be overturned. I suppose like cricketers learning DRS and
certainly
balls they think maybe hitting the stumps, but it's probably not going to be given out on the computer. So that's the Cowboys challenge gone. And the play there isn't a howler in the second half of this game. Broncos, of course, has theirs in the bag.
Oh, a golden point there. How many of those have we seen between these two? That's what I think most teams will use it. If the game is tight, they'll save it until the golden point. Maybe get an advantage through there somehow.
Broncos now, there's Kennedy. Trail in this game so far. Zarko on the right side. Brody Croft. And finds the line with a steadying kick. What have you made of his game so far, Kev?
Yeah, he's been good for the Broncos tonight. That was a nice play from him there, just rolling the ball into touch. They don't have to score Brisbane, they're in front. They need to push the button, the go button for them. Good steady play. He's got a nice kicking game, Croft, both long and short. His combination with Milford in that area is very exciting as well.
The Cowboys have fed this scrum. As you can see, 10 in for a touch. Open up that whole right side. Ben Hampton off the wing for the first hitter. Oh, we're nicely poised, aren't we? Of course we're nicely poised. It's the Cowboys and the Broncos. It's the Masters. Hit another run. That's his 12th for the game.
It's been good.
Morgan. Three-quarter Cooper around the back. Three-quarters pass. Riley down. Turpin down the low. And a chip kick for three-quarter. There's no one back there, but Ozarko sprints. Takes it over the dead ball, and that should do us for this first period. Maybe time just to put Bird on ball.
Yeah, good tactic again there from Drinkwater. Putting pressure on Brisbane's back defences. There's no one home there for them. They've had a lot of success around the middle of the ruck tonight, the Cowboys, punching through Brisbane's defence.
Yeah.
Ozarko let that clock get to zero, but the shot clock is here there.
They won't. I'll get one tackle, Cowboys.
Oh, Morgan for field goal to make it 12-9. He's done it.
Yes, mate. Can you believe it?
Outrageous. Michael Morgan has plotted the first field goal at Queensland Country Stadium. And you know what, Kev?
Well,
the way these two teams play, that might not be such a bad option.
Oh, it's a great option. 1 point is better than none, particularly right on half-time. He was just like, what am I going to do here? I'll do a field goal.
So, that's half-time at Queensland Country Stadium, and Brisbane lead the North Queensland Cowboys by the unusual score of 12 points to 9.
Well, there has been plenty of fire in this Queensland derby. Greg Alexander, Tavita Pangai is on report for this hit on just
10 and 6, the numbers for Gloucester Park race number 2. Richmond race 6 up next over 400 metres. Those numbers will filter through shortly, hopefully. $2 for number 6, One Fury for Peter Lagogiani. Looks to be the first of potentially 2 winners that Pete will have in the quadrilla there at Richmond. In the last leg they've got Zipper at Mate, looks to be the one to beat there, and in between for the next there's the 10's on favourite and Zipping Sultan for Jason Magri. Jason Magri took out the previous with what a debacle. At $2 here, One Fury. It's on top for Tim, 6 to beat 1, 4 and 7.
Second leg of... Us Brits have only got to see the fence. And we all start thinking of Tommy Cooper. But nobody in Morocco has ever heard of him. So if you go to people saying things like Sprint Jar, Jar Jar Spoon, Jar Jar, Sprint Spoon, Sim Saladin, they look at you like you're absolutely raving mad. And you know, I think they might be right. But he does hit the ground. He's even money. 2 easy punches back from the 500 metres in.
There's people here that can get him out of the country. We interviewed everybody we could that might have had contact with him. There's a gentleman named Tio. We talked to Tio on Saturday night, talked to his sons. He said, hey, if I hear anything about him, if I see him, I will call you. Not 24 hours later, we got a call from one of Tio's sons. It was very short and sweet. He's here right now. It was very late at night on a Sunday, but we alerted as many people as we could. Grab your gear, get in your car, and get here right now. Let's go ahead and start moving in on the house and try to grab him. Things happen very quickly. We missed him.
He slipped through the cracks so many times. He is like the really evil bad guy that has 9 lives. But one of these days, those 9 lives are going to run out.
Later into 2012 in the fall, we learned that he had re-entered El Salvador, had updated his identification card. It's very tough to say exactly where he might be right now. I tend to think he's in El Salvador. I also think given enough time, he might try to come back to the U.S. with a new identity and try to start life over.
My biggest fear is that he's going to come back and try to do it again.
Can you imagine how terrified that girl is? Wouldn't you be terrified? Wouldn't you be afraid? I can't say enough about her courage.
He's over there in El Salvador or wherever, living the life he wants to live. While my daughter was going through therapy, having to deal with that, all the medications, all that. Life goes on for him, though. That's real fair, isn't it? He shouldn't have a right to have any life.
My daughter sees a psychiatrist that specializes in people who are victims of a sexual assault. And she has to take medication to help her sleep and for anxiety and for PTSD.
It still haunts me, like I'm scared. I'm scared to go places. I'm scared to be in a car with the mail. When I go to my bus stop, I'm always watching, making sure nobody's behind me. I feel like he could come anytime, that he's still here and he still watches me. And so I get really scared. When I'm in the shower, I can't even keep my eyes shut for longer than a couple of seconds.
You have to be a really horrible person to get close to the top of my personal most wanted list, and Oscar is right up there at the top. He knows how to manipulate other children to help him exploit children. He is never going to stop until he gets caught. Oscar Menevar Herrera has a small tattoo on his left bicep. He has frequently used social media such as Facebook under various aliases such as Tony Menevar, Tony Montana, and Montana Neke. If you have seen Oscar Menevar Herrera or have any information as to his whereabouts, please go online at cnn.com/thehunt. We'll pass your tip on to the proper authorities, and if requested, will not reveal your name.
Examine how four men climbed onto the stage of history and changed the destiny of the world forever.
Hitler didn't want to negotiate because he really wanted a war. He's self-conceived as a visionary who doesn't give orders, he gives visions.
Churchill hated being unpopular.
He was unpopular amongst his own party. Everyone called him a warmonger.
He is the supreme commander of the Soviet armed forces, and he is head of the State Defense Council. All roads lead to Stalin.
Roosevelt recognized the two superpowers going to be the United States and Soviet Union.
There are moments in history when the United States of power.
Titans of the 20th Century, Wednesdays, 7:30, only on History and Watch on Demand.
It's an incredible mystery. Yeah, no ballistics, no witnesses.
Why trying to go with them, coin collector? At the moment, Influential Jack's off the bit and he's not picking up, and then Just a Joke and Nirvana. Think We're Due went for home on the corner and burst clear. Raced away by a length and a half, Dark Confidant. Genstar battling away, there's no Influential Jack. Think We're Due in front. Dark Confidant has not given up the chase. Coin collector running on. Think We're Due in front, holding them at the moment. Well clear. Coin collector runs to second, but Think We're Due in front and wins from Coin Collector, Dark Confidant, Genstar in photos second, third and fourth. Influential Jack never hit the bit at any stage from Nirvana. Well back is Prey to Toy and the last one Just a Joke.
6 will be 7 or 11 here.
Pitch action. Hobart. Remember? where David Warner got
That's right.
100, didn't he?
He got 100 in the second innings, and I think New Zealand got up, I think, like 7 runs to win that test match. That was green. Emerald green the whole time.
Big Cole chips it away on the leg side. That's concerns. New Zealand lose their 7th wicket. Stark with the catch. Zampa gets his second, and that might be a fatal blow for New Zealand.
Yeah, I reckon it would have been. I think he split his webbing or a nail. Mitchell Stark taking that catch. It's a good catch in the end. He had to sort of move to his right and come in a bit. De Grondheim will be kicking himself, just chipping it away. If he goes for the big shot, he hits that for 6. He's just tried to chip it, tried to whip it a bit squarer than what it came off the bat. And he's got a good pair of hands, Mitchell Stark. He's done well there. He's just got a bit of blood there, yeah. He's just split the bottom of that finger. It's a bit nasty. And Grondheim goes, why didn't I hit it for 6? Handy little 25, but not enough. 7 for 160.
Bowling.
Well, that reminds me of the second innings dismissal in the test here at Sydney, where he did exactly the same thing and hit it straight down.
Patterson's throw, good catch too.
Yeah, straight down there, and that was another, why didn't you hit it the whole way? But good news for Mitchell Stark is that it's not his bowling hand, not bowling fingers. So that brings Ishodi to the crease.
It's probably one of the smaller boundaries out there as well. Grondheim found there.
Also, Sanders on strike.
If you're going to go in there, you've got to find the gap if you're going to chip it. Or go the other way and just really hit it hard and hit it for 6.
Similar to the dismissal we saw of Darcy Short, we just chipped it away out through mid-wicket, didn't he?
It happens as a batsman. Then you get in the shed, you think, why?
Mr. Magic Man has tailed off in the event, and the lead time is 62.
And now to his fellow spinner. Wanted to slip in. Cover point comes in off the fence inside the circle. So he does well to open his account. Well bowled by Zampa though, he gets the wicket of De Grondheim in the over. New Zealand in trouble at 7 for 162. Bunnings Warehouse. New Zealand are not that far behind the yellow line, but a lot of wickets being lost to get to that point.
Yeah, too many. There's that clump of 4 there between the 20 over mark and about the 25th over. Yeah, a good partnership between Latham and De Grondheim, and then they're both gone, and you feel that's makes it almost impossible really for the Kiwis from here.
Hazelwood now to Sodi in his 9th over.
He will be sitting there, Colin De Grondheim, thinking, I have the power. Why didn't I just go? Yeah, right, it's just...
That's just a half chip.
Yeah.
And it's gone 3/4 of the way. It's in the slot to really go after. I think if he was batting with Latham, he would have hit it for 6.
And you're mentioning the test match dismissal. Here it is off Nathan Lyon. Very similar.
Joe Burns, I thought it was Patterson catching that position, diving, running a similar sort of shot.
To win the test match.
It might have been Todd Estel who was caught in that same...
Yeah, it was actually, but almost the same shot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I just wonder whether that's a lack of confidence or... I don't know. He's so big and so strong, he hits the ball so cleanly.
Can't say that. 220 fixed. Moving in, getting set. Race 7 for the night here at Logan Park.
Cafe Coffee. Barista made with care and craft. Buy any 5 McCafe drinks and get one free. Download the My Macca's app to grab yours today.
points separates the Cowboys and the Broncos in our Queensland derby tonight. The Broncos with the ascendancy to score at halftime 9-12. Greg Alexander, who goes on and wins this and why?
Yeah, 2 tries apiece, nothing in it, and there has been nothing in these Queensland derbies historically, Hannah. So I'm going to go with my original tip. I thought the Cowboys would win, and I thought the new stadium and the big home crowd would play a great part in that, and I still think the same. So Cowboys to win for mine.
Right, time for the second half. Here is your commentator, Dan Gannett.
Second half, Hollis, thank you, Brandy. Fascinating chat there in the half-time regarding Bronson Sherry and the ramifications if he does in fact test positive to coronavirus. No matter what, Kevin Walters, the environment changes after this weekend. The best case scenario is we get through the rest of this weekend with crowds, and then round 2 onwards we're playing behind closed doors. That's a best case scenario. We saw with the NBA, as soon as one player tested positive, that was it. They put a halt to the competition immediately.
Yeah, certainly interesting times ahead for our game as Michael Morgan.
What did you think of the first half?
Yeah, pretty average.
Surprised that it's nice and tight. Yeah. 2 tries apiece. Plenty of storylines out of that first half. Val Holmes, a slow start, couple of errors, but he hit back.
Either one of these sides will win this game.
Payne Haas looks even better than he did last year, if that's possible. Jason Tamalolo's picked up from where he left off. It's a Vita Pangai.
Well, both Queensland.
To put together
That's
an
positive.
unhappy judiciary record. 5 times in his last 23 games, by my records, he's been charged. And that late tackle there on Justin O'Neill in the first half, it would appear he's headed for yet another charge. And of course, he missed last year's final that the Broncos played after a 4-week suspension for a dangerous contact around the head. Val Holmes looking comfortable. The second half begins just about full here in Townsville. And it's Frank Molo to get us started. Broncos lead 12-4. Late try for the Cowboys, and that speculator of a field goal from Michael Morgan has us at this strange old score. Tamalolo carries it forward. 8 of the last 11 between these two sides have been decided by 4 points or less. If there's ever a game to pop a field goal, this just might be the one. Bruce Robson ended the first half on the paddock, and he starts the second half in the game. Half for North Queensland. There's the end over Elmslick here. There's Janelle Zarko. He's been steady at the back, hasn't he, with his high balls. He had a nervous one early.
Yeah.
And since then, he's been quite confident.
Very confident, attacking the ball as well, which is what you need to do as a fullback.
With the Broncos knocking on the door. Here's Croft. Sends it on to Milford. Milford looking dangerous. As he spotted a little opening, was closed up quickly. It's Croft to kick on the last. Running down in the field of play. That's off Cowboys' hands. That could be a Broncos try. And a lead inspection, but Tavita Pangai, he might have the Broncos turn.
Cowboys, try. Just confirming there's no Broncos hand in the contest.
The short kicks from both sides have been very awkward for the men at the back.
They certainly have been. Well, that's come off.
Looks like Stags,
but it's gone backwards.
Sure has.
Just gets up high enough, doesn't he, to push the ball back. Too many numbers there. And just couldn't clean it up, could they, the Cowboys?
Doesn't appear as though Jesse Arthurs has erred. Or has he? That from the other angle appeared to have gone backwards, and
Ball's on, knocked backwards in the context for a high ball at this point.
Yeah, a little fortuitous, but the Broncos
the ball is
further in front.
Yeah, well, it was a good start set for them, wasn't it, the Broncos? They marched the ball downfield rather easily, and that put them into attacking, kicking position. Pangai Jr. gets the spoils. It was a nice kick from Croft. Isolating Mitch Dunn, I think it was. Here's the bust here from Asako. Just pushing through the line, and he gets the offload to Pangai. March the ball down inside that sort of 20-metre zone. Then it becomes an attacking kick. Let's just have a look here. Yeah. Mitch Dunn was the one that they attacked with the kick. And Pangai gets the spoils. That's a brilliant start for the Brisbane Broncos in this second half.
Gee, love scoring a try against the Cowboys. Yeah, 4 tries in his past 5 games. He's only scored 10 in the NRL. Nearly half of them are against this team.
Yeah. Well, he's very good on the attack side of things, and defensively for that matter as well.
Here's Isako. He's good with the move tonight. 3 from 3. Brisbane 18 points to 9. We've got a bumper day tomorrow here on Fox League. Bundaberg Rum Super Saturday. First up, Newcastle versus the Warriors. Then it's South Sydney against the Sharks. And then at 7:30 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, what a clash, the Premiers against Penrith. And that is at Penrith Stadium. A lot of expectations about the Panthers this year. They had a wretched start to last season, some off-field dramas, but there's a really good vibe about the place, and it's shaping up as a beauty tomorrow night.
Well, it is, and there's no better way to challenge yourself than taking on the back-to-back Premiers, the Roosters, and the World Club champions as well.
Roosters lost in round 1 last year, didn't lose many after that for a long period. Then with the home team there, here are the Broncos. Haven't been able to put back-to-back tries together. They haven't maintained the lead pretty much from the outset. The first to receive, Pangai getting involved. And now Staggs holding it up. Arthur's on the rebound.
He'll get on his feet, Arthur's, doesn't he? Very nimble.
Croft explores. Milford almost gets on the outside. His man there in Cohen Hess and keeps it alive for Croft. Pangai's pass was dodgy. The refs give it the all clear. 48 is where Croft kicks. Plug that in the corner. No problem for Phil. And for Feeder with the heavy work.
Well, they've got it all to do now, the Cowboys, haven't they? It's been a good start in the second half from Brisbane.
Not a high-scoring team, the Cowboys. It's been their issue the last couple of seasons. The 2 tries tonight. Corey Jensen there. And then on tackle 4. Damala. Kennedy holds his ground. Pangai helping as well. You see an attempted knuckleballer here from Morgan. It's not a sitter, but it's well got captured by Asako. Oates wants to get his hands on it here. Jesse Arthurs, this man who was at the Titans last year. It's a fair competition at the Broncos for those outside backs positions, and leading out a few prospects like Herbie Farnworth, who's on the bench, and Xavier Coates, highly regarded. So Arthur's getting a crack, and look pretty sturdy tonight.
Yeah, lots of good young talent coming through from Brisbane's ranks.
Milford. Just held onto by Jensen. Oh, the late offload. Turpin now. It's a go to Hopewadi. Isako. He's taken by Drinkwater. And the Cowboys absorb another set as Croft. Again, trying to land this around 10 metres out. A good result for Morgan. Ooh, he wanted to get that on the field as well, but took the prudent option.
Well, they're winning the battle at the moment, Brisbane, aren't they? Using the ball nicely. Good short passing through the middle, and then some width to Milford and Croft and co.
So the Cowboys really struggling to get it out. The Broncos have done well. And he's holding on to the ball. These are oppressive conditions. They're 18 from 21 their completions. That's outstanding. That's after a pretty ordinary start as well. So 86%. Cowboys at 70%. Morgan on the final play here. Might be a problem for Ozako.
Just winning the battle here, Dan, aren't they, the Broncos, with the field position. Each set, they're just inching their way downfield. They'll get an attacking kick on the back of this set. Milford being a key player tonight with his running game and his offloading.
He likes this running out of dummy half. It's 318,000 first grade Darius.
A very experienced campaigner, premiership winner, dual premiership winner. He knows what it's all about.
There we go, there's the jinx. That does a bit of damage on the completion rate. Just back for a North Queensland strike. But just what you were talking about, Kev, the Cowboys struggling to get field position. Well, here we go. It's just shy of halfway. It just allows them to make a little bit of an impression on the Broncos.
Yeah, it certainly does. Corey Oates was the man at fault there. The big man. His field, the Cowboys are playing too lateral at the moment for mine.
Don't forget, if you want to contribute, the NRL pays homage to those crucial in the bushfire efforts. Round one for all, it's at salvationarmy.org.au/NRL. Cowboys. Red possession inside Brisbane territory. All Green, 7th year as North Queensland coach. Only premiership winning coach, of course. What's doing here on this play is Jensen plays that ball quickly. Robson with no markers to contend with. He's put that down. But it's played on. There's now Jensen to Cooper. Cooper over the 20. They're just starting to rise. It's Robson to Morgan. A fancy little dummy. Holmes to Masters. Oh, he got inside boy, but Milford with some nice work sliding across. Near the wrestle as well. On the last, it's Morgan. Again, making sure it doesn't go into the in goal. A big chance here. Mitchell Dunn can't get rid of it. Huge tackle from Jesse Arthurs, and the Broncos hold on.
Well, he just had to pass the ball there, Mitchell Dunn. He threw the dummy, and Arthurs didn't take it. Again, the kick. A big play on last tackle. Just had to pass the ball there to Hampton. Hampton strolls over the try line. The kick was bloodied, wasn't it, from Morgan?
There's Gavin Cooper with a lovely tap on.
Well, he's been known for that over the years, hasn't he? Very tall player. Able to tap the ball back. There's a chance gone there for the Cowboys.
Sure is. That's their first chance of this second half. Pass. Look at this. And he earns a penalty as well.
It's a big couple of plays there for Brisbane. Stopping the try now, penalty. They'll put them in attacking position as they regroup. Expect them to attack out to their right edge. That's where they've been most successful tonight.
Well, there are a sprinkling of Broncos fans here, as there always are at these games. I saw last night in Townsville, in Sydney, about 4,000 people who bought tickets decided not to go. That was thought to be correct. running while the ball was related. His ass finally taken. See tonight, it was sold out. The fans don't want to miss this. Flegler on the edge there. Put down, took through to knock him over. Young man plays it for Turpin. Here's Milford on the right. Now the little grubber. Oh, it was
Oh, he fucking missed it.
that was unlucky. In the end, that's a terrible result for the Broncos. 7 tackles in the 20-metre tap. That was so close to being perfect.
Oh, the idea was right from Milford. And Pangai just couldn't quite get the lucky bounce that they required. It was always, oh, look at Milford, ever scheming. Just couldn't get the bounce. What? Ben Hampton was there to see the ball go over. There's a good spot there for those young Cowboy fans.
How have you found Milford tonight? Does he look comfortable in his role?
Yeah, he's a good player, Anthony Milford. A lot of time for him, his ability on the football field. I like him back in the 6th jumper for Brisbane.
He finished last year as a fullback. They played very much the second half of it.
Yeah,
2018-19 season as a fullback.
from round 14 on, so it's been a long time for him to be back in the 6th jersey. Made a real fist of it tonight.
The Cowboys back inside Brisbane territory. Along did well to get the flick, but Morgan has to scurry back. Hampton from dummy half. Spots something here. Carrigan messes up to make the tackle. Here's the Cowboys on the last with Robson giving it the drink water. Now into the notes. Oh, he has an air swing. Masters almost.
Is the ball out on down when he touches it? Yes, he's in down when he touches it.
I'm just waiting for confirmation here as the touch judge and the referee confer. Tony Staggs exits this game. Because they have a ready-made replacement in Herbie Farnworth. Cramp, the issue there for Katoni. Defense, he might not be the only one. These conditions.
There he is there after that incident with the cramps. Sugar into his system and away he goes.
I thought Salt was the
Supplement, yeah. Sugar, poor Kevy, I'm trying to cut back on the sugar too, Nick.
That's the great eagle, the sugar. That is Brisbane's feed after all of that. There he is, Herbie Farnworth. 2 first-grade games. He's a great story. He's a young Englishman. He was actually signed by Manchester United. He was a young footballer, and he decided, you know what, I'm a rugby league boy. Here he goes in again.
Yeah, there's a good young player coming through the system of Brisbane.
Broncos just march up, feel so comfortable, don't they? Carrigan. Close it down. Croft into the line. He's got footwork, he's got strength, he's got it all. He's well handled this time by Molo, but a nice quick play the ball. Turpin with a roll on to Croft. Tries to poke that kick in, but it was a little too cute. In the end, Holmes has nowhere to go anyway. Ever since Holmes scored that try, boy, they've kept him quiet. Haven't really seen much of Val at all.
Well, haven't been too many opportunities, really, has there? This is the place for Brisbane to go to.
This looked dangerous, this looked like a wayward tackle, and this is a great chance for North Queensland to march it upfield. A lazy shot here.
When they create momentum around the play the ball, the Cowboys, this Brisbane defence with some concerns for mine. So playing through the middle of the ruck would be the area for mine to attack with Morgan and Holmes coming through there, running the ball.
Just a slight momentum change in the last few minutes. There had to be for the Cowboys. It was down by the 2 scores. Still plenty of time, 24 minutes. Morgan sends it on to McLean. Back after his healthy spin on the bench. A bit of game time for Rhys Robson, the dummy half, as it comes out left. Drinkwater, the juggling Holmes. Broncos closing down. Back to the middle. Three-quarter. And Morgan. Got past Fafita. Turpin and Carrigan finish off.
They'll sit 1-2 and Miami bound and just behind them and Miami.
And Masters against the grain. Oh, Fleetwood just hangs on, but a lovely offload to Marlowe. Then he's buried. Payne Haas, of course. Final play, big play. Big cutout from Val Holmes. Hampton muscling his way towards the line. The Broncos are there in numbers.
Yeah, good defence, Brisbane on that right side. The play was right from Holmes. They had the numbers there, but Brisbane scrambled well on their try line. This is a big set of six here. Now it's Gavin Cooper lifting his players. Come on, we've got to lift here, boys.
You know they're going to load up here. So Zarko. He's first to run into the wall.
And the Brisbane forwards, well, they need to put their hands up here as well and charge over the wall. We need a run from Payne Haas or Oates or someone in there.
And the colour you see there, he's in the game, and dummy half. Comes out to Flintler.
That's a good run.
It's a terrific run. Gets him over the 20. Nice play the ball as well. Allows. Oh, McCulloch to run, but he runs straight into Tamalolo. Now Carrigan out to Fafita.
Look out.
He gets past. He goes through. He's slipped by. Now.
Go, boy. Go. Fuck yes. Stick the Cowboys up your ass.
Quickly think and fly going to
Number
the
one,
line
but
from
not him.
non-conformist. Adelaide Aces charging up to make a line of three and now dropping behind is Diasonic. They're 3 lengths in front of Liam's the boss. Miami bound last. Think and fly took the roll of pacemaker out of the straight. Led by a length on Adelaide Ace for Allen, striding up a clear second. Non-conformist back on the fence from Diasonic and Miami bound. And a length away, Liam's the boss, the maiden galloper at the rear. 1,500 metres to go, and Williams now starts to slow the tempo down on Think and Fly. A new roll tonight. He's back to his old ways, leading out by 1 length on Adelaide Ace, who cuts the breeze. Non-conformist tucked in on the inside. A length away, Diasonic, Miami bound. And last of all is Liam's the boss at a moderate clip as they go around the 1,200 metre bend. Think and Fly, the son of the great So You Think, a Jill Cox Plate winner, led it by a length. Sitting up in second position, Adelaide Ace, the favourite. Then Non-conformist going up Diasonic to its girth. Miami bound, the champion filly of last year, is back at the tail of the field with Liam's the boss. They race in pairs. They come down the side. 850 to go. Think and Fly beautifully rated. Adelaide Ace every possible. 2 lengths Non-conformist, nowhere to go. Diasonic's got him in a pocket. Miami bound. Spade is in the lap of Non-conformist at the moment because it's directly behind him. And on the outside, Liam's the boss. No real action yet. Think and Fly held back to the field at the 600. Adelaide Ace about to come off the bed. He's just been niggled out a little bit. Then came Diasonic coming with a run. Around the field, Liam's the boss. Back on the inside, Non-conformist, nowhere to go. He's trying to angle out 3 wide, but got pushed back in, and Miami bound can't win. Think and Fly in front of Adelaide Ace, drawing up as they turn. Adelaide Ace takes the lead. Non-conformist in the clear, and he went whooshka. Non-conformist stormed to the front from Adelaide Ace. Boy, he's going to make him look second rate tonight, Non-conformist. He might be very, very good. Non-conformist roars away and wins it by 3 lengths. Adelaide Ace second, Diasonic third from Miami bound. Think and Fly, and last is Liam's
second.
Haven't delivered it yet. The players.
The Broncos have scored the last couple of tries. They led 12-9 at the break. They now lead 24-9.
There he is. The man. Let's have a look at it again. Pat Carrigan. There was nothing happening here, I can assure you, until this man gets the ball in his hands. Punches through the tackle of Hess, and then Valentine Holmes gets him back on the inside shoulder. What a try.
Val's probably saying behind the goal line, I don't remember this one. I was at the Sharks. Nice moment for Andrew McCulloch. The game into the top 5 of all-time Broncos for games played. It's a little list, isn't it? He's got Michael Hancock in his sights. Absolute legends of that move there. Now the Broncos
See what the Cowboys have got here. Dan, this is a good test for them. Round one. Always going to be tough playing against the Broncos, given the rivalry. But to be down 24-9 with 20 minutes to go, they would not have thought that.
You'd swear at half-time it was going to go down to the wire, and they will do. Brisbane certainly gone up a gear. Haas, this time decides the pass. Milford on the right. Milford with the dummy. Then the offside. Corey Oates back towards the middle. The Broncos, the leaders are just coming at will now.
Yeah, they certainly are. It's been really all of this second half. But
here's Isaiah. Here's a beautiful spin from Pangai. Now Arthurs. Inside one, inside another. Now Isaiah.
Go, you champion! Your cramp.
He needs a little help. But what about this?
yeah, it's cramping up as well. But again, it's the skill of the Broncos, isn't it? Their ability to get on the outside with their speed. They're just tearing this Cowboys defence apart. Asako, of course, is the goal kicker as well, so they want to get him right. But here it is again. Good flat passing from Brisbane. And Pangai was the one really that created the try, and then the offload from Arthurs. There was a good try from Brisbane. Back-to-back tries.
We are seeing the good and the bad of Tavita Pangai, and the great of Tavita Pangai. What a little spin move that was, and then the dead pass as well. He's probably got a date with the judiciary, but that's a sublime play. He scored earlier as well.
The joy of scoring the try.
That's a happy man. They had a pretty tough start the last season. They had a wretched draw. Playing teams like Melbourne and Roosters at the SCG. And
they had a match against South as well, didn't they?
That's right. They never really got going. And this time, it looks like they're going to start this season with a win, and a most impressive one. Cowboys fans have seen enough, heading for the gates. So Jesse Arthur will take the shot at goal. It's a 19-point margin, so it's not a crucial kick. Extending the Broncos lead, but so Zarko is going to stay in the game, but not in a fit state to kick.
Just had a spell from goal kicking, but again, a super try from Brisbane. Beautiful work on the inside, and then Pangai with the offload was the killer blow. Just scrambling. A lot of missed tackles there, wasn't that movement from the Cowboys.
Not one of the big winners tonight, Jamal Mazarko, getting a crack at that fullback position. Don't forget, Sunday night, it's back. Sunday night with Matty Johns after the footy. Now, we've got Sunday night footy for a little while, so it's Dragons, West Tigers, then it's Matty in the team, and in that team this year, Sam Burgess. He joins the Matty Johns family. He'll star Blake Ferguson as a special guest. And the guys go to jet fighter school, so that is all coming up Sunday night with Matty Johns. I started with the last one with a bang. If they ever ask you to do the light detector, Kev, say no.
What's that last night there?
Here come the Broncos again. They're full of wounds now.
Walker's just up on the shoulder there.
Boyd plays it here. Croft, a long kick from outside the 40. It's going to be Hampton to bring it back. Same work there.
Andrew McCulloch underneath in the low.
And Flegler up top. The Cowboys a long time to win at their original home ground, Stockland Stadium, as it was called back in 1995. They moved 6 games before they finally got on the win on the board. We expect them to take that one this time. It does appear as though they're going to start in the same fashion. Before they lost to Canterbury, 42 points to 16 in their first game.
fine.
Sure did. He's the trick play, Cooper Holmes. The offload doesn't quite find the waiting arms of Scott Drinkwater.
Valentine Holmes in a bit of trouble as well. He took ankle carrying something tonight.
Oh, Mitchell done with the steal. So a bright spot here for the Cowboys. Keeping an eye on that because he was holding in the first half. He seemed to shake it off, but you saw there, might not be over. Morgan. Now one of Masters. Nice right foot step, then the flick. Cohen Hess. Floating. Now straightening. And met by McCulloch and Haas. They need something to happen in a hurry here. It's Greenville. Now Drinkwater, beautiful pass. That's delightful. And Gavin Cooper adds to his impressive try-scoring tally.
Well, they made that look easy, didn't they, the Cowboys? Some nice work, some nice line running from Gavin Cooper, blood streaming from the face. And he knows where the try line is.
They'll wait for a good photo.
Just here, Jesse Arthurs was the man. He just came up in front of Brody Croft with opened up the space. And Drinkwater again. Beautiful little pass. Well, they needed that, the Cowboys, didn't they? They were drifting out of this game. That will give them the sniff there.
So Cooper didn't score too many tries last year, but gets on the board. There we go. Love scoring against the Broncos. But you know, Kevy, even though this doesn't appear to be a night where the Cowboys are going to celebrate a win, there have been some bright sparks. Their fans will probably be quite happy with the performance of Drinkwater.
Yeah, certainly. He's been a revelation in the sixth cover, hasn't he? The return of Valentine Holmes. It's always going to be a work in progress with Holmes. And as Cole Felt takes over the kicking duties. Cole lets that one through.
So 13
I thought he missed it.
14 that go.
Too.
When these two sides meet, you just never know, Ken. You just never know. Don't write them off yet. Don't forget Our World of Sports with the Professor and Barney. That's coming up straight after this game. Just a glorious stadium. What's great about it, Kev? It's a stadium this town, this region has deserved for a long, long time, but it's so unique. It's not a cut and paste of some other stadiums. It's certainly something that fits in perfectly. Castle Hill in the background, the town across the bridge. They're going to have many good years here. So we've seen both sides open up a little. So while it seems unlikely that the Cowboys can produce a miracle, players from both teams are starting to drop off tackles.
Bring this crowd back into it.
Mitchell done well handled there.
Morgan's the one. He's the one that's going to knock this Cowboys team with his running game.
Pretty well handled so far tonight. Drinkwater. It's a wobbly kick. He didn't like that early far left, but did the right thing, turned his body in the right position. When he did lose it, it was clearly backwards. Broncos, another claim. Oh, that's the third Bronco now. He's starting to take its toll.
Yeah. The Townsville heat. Very human.
And Tony Staggs, he suffered his cramps with 26 minutes to go. 28 degrees it is right now. And 63% humidity. So the humidity's actually increased, even though the temperature's dropped a couple of degrees. But you understand why these players are battling. Good done by McCulloch. And Wilford has enjoyed a bit of space tonight. Goes left, goes right. Now straightens. And a flat-footed run, and he still makes about 13 metres.
good tactics from Croft. They've gone about 80 metres there, the Broncos. And that's out of 6 with some just little shifts in play. Milford coming in. A good run from McCulloch out of dummy half. But they're playing this well, the Broncos.
He was brought in to be an organiser, wasn't he, Kev? Anthony Seagold has bristled at that suggestion, thinking that is saying that no, Brody Croft is more than just an organiser, but it is something that they can use the Broncos.
Yeah, well, it's more to his game than that. Got a good running game as well, Brody Croft.
Played 39 games for the Storm. Was there half up last year until round 22.
Oh, he dropped it. Good lad.
That's unfortunate.
Good lad.
He's been so good tonight for the Cowboys. But now Brisbane can put this one away.
Well, surely they've got a scrum play with David Fafita involved. And Milford. Let's see what they come up with here. Brisbane, they've elected to pack the scrum in the middle of the field.
Pensive. There's a little smile. He's quite content. So from the middle, comes to the left. Here's Milford. Morgan rushed in. The pass for Boyd. Skips across McLean. Asiata does well. Full set though for the visitors. Carrigan been a bit busier in this second half. It's hard to put down here. Finally, Asiata and McLean get their man. Here's Croft. The show and go. Brody Croft. He almost got there. Dragged back into the field of play. Cohen Hess almost ragdolled him. Tamalolo rushed up and not surprisingly Milford looked up. They keep it alive, the Broncos. Pangai. Arthur's with a right foot step. And this will be the 4th tackle. Inside the last 10 minutes of this game. Shake the kick and then throws a wild pass. Oh, what a nice bit of skill that was from Corey Oates. All for nothing because it was a forward pass. Although everyone stopped, everyone gave up on it.
Including Corey Oates. He's been strong tonight, Cole Feldt for the Cowboys.
Thanks for having a case for tackling without the ball, but Cowboys. Looking forward here. Brisbane look a little out of pup, but so do the locals. Masters back inside to Drinkwater. Now Grenville looms up. Grenville down the middle. Boyd gets him just in time.
Gonna go left.
Chips got up in time. Now comes out here surely. Cooper. Now Hampton. Inside pass. No! Brisbane survive. Foot in the line.
Yuck.
It was so close for the Cowboys, but what scramble from Brisbane.
Oh, how fucking terrible.
Brisbane on their try line. The Cowboys had a 3-man overlap there. And they somehow managed to stop the try. Look, there's only 2 defenders there. Gavin Cooper throws the floater over and Hampton goes into touch.
Well, they had to throw it. And again, they have a chance on that left side. Brisbane's right, but they can't finish it off.
There's been a couple of them tonight, hasn't there? It's a game changer. Each done had the opportunity to pass. In that first half, in the second half, just 15 minutes ago. The game was on the line.
They scored then. And they're down 2 scores with 7 to play. You can start to build a case that they get caught out of the fire. Cowboys are back here in a fortnight. They take on Parramatta and who knows what's going to happen. But at this stage it appears to be a closed door game. match at this venue over the next month. Now that might end up being a blessing in disguise. Certain competitions like the NBA, they've shut down for 30 days. That's the sort of template we're working with here. Hopefully, there's some semblance of normality by then. He's off now, just pushing away. Oh, the no-look pass to McCulloch. One play remains here for the Broncos. Anyway, we've done it a few times in the second. That's in the kick and almost. Farnworth can't wheel it in.
The exhaustion there on Ben Hampton's face. Nice option there from Croft, just rolling the ball in behind. Quick restart from the Cowboys. Once again, felt the man who puts his hand up.
Nice run here from Brody Croft. Good scramble though from Jordan McLean staying in the race. Just not depth enough from the Brisbane number 7. And a good night for him. Now the no-look dummy from Hess. Seemed to be targeting Mitchell though. It's a result. It's Ben Hampton. It's a try. Well, just hang on a moment here.
Hold your horses.
28-19, and there's still time.
There is still time. Michael Morgan put the kick in. Not sure quite where he was aiming the kick for, but he got a good result from it. Let's have a look here. Asako swooped on the kick. Then unfortunately the ball, he's cramped up again. And Ben Hampton picked up the spoils and away he went. Let's just have a look at Asako here. There's the cramp coming in now. Out comes the ball.
So he's obviously in serious trouble. Katani Staggs has already left the game with his cramping issues. If Isako stays on, you have 5 minutes here. If you're a Cowboys player, how are you trying to exploit that? He is a fullback, but how do you exploit it? Is it simply kicks like that?
Simply like that, yeah, getting your kicks on the mark, making him work hard to get to the ball, not kicking it straight down his throat.
Similarly, if you're Brisbane, do you have to keep him in the game? Do you stick him on the wing?
Well, that may be an option for them because, as we know, fullbacks in the NRL, they do the most run meters more than any other player on the field. So that might see a switch here now. Let's have a look at Asako on the back there. See, look at him just trailing across, and then he hits the go button, but he grabs there. And that's when the ball comes out.
He's had 17 runs, Isako, for over 150 metres. He's done plenty of work. Val Holmes also has been busy. Nearly 150 metres in his return to first grade.
They need to score in this set, Dan, the Cowboys, or get the ball back on a repeat set. If they're a chance of winning this game.
Fuck the Cowboys.
Well outside the 20. Ziana now rolling upfield. Look at the 20 missed tackles tonight for the Broncos. Very good in these conditions. Cowboys at 39. Here's Morgan.
That's what he needs to do, Morgan, is run the ball.
The way they're marching this upfield, the worst case scenario, they should be close enough for a reasonably attacking kick. Tamalolo with another 15 metres. Ziana. Oh no. That pass was hard and Drinkwater couldn't reel it in. Just as it was bubbling.
Yeah. Just the ball to ground. Just not quite right on the pass here. Let's have a look. He's just reaching for it, Drinkwater, and on normal conditions he would have caught that. Given the slippery ball and the tension in tonight's game, all green showing his angst.
Yeah, that's. They just kept his interest in, didn't they? They just kept him hoping. That's who the Broncos have got ahead of them. South and Suncorp, Gold Coast, down the M1. Penrith and Penrith. And then the Cowboys are getting around 5. You see the Cowboys, they played Thursday night behind closed doors against Canterbury ANZ. And then they're back here for round 3 against the Eels with a couple of trips away. Broncos look like they're just about home now. This isn't going to quite get to 200 metres. Far away.
That's a good run there.
He's gone over 100 metres. He's got big shoes to fill. Looking over from the injured Matt Lodge. And this is a terrific win for Brisbane considering Lodge is out, Offahan Gowie's out. Also Alex Glenn and Jack Bird.
Yeah, it's a big win. Of course, the Cowboys, no Josh McGuire.
He's Wilford. Really touchy, so the Cowboys get this ball back. Kyle Felt to play it here. You see them all bunched up. Now, the Broncos are struggling with Grant and the Cowboys have Wilford as well. There's Jason Tamarolo. Holmes on the run. Now Hampton.
It's that strong going on, Hampton.
Now comes to Drinkwater. Engage the defenders, then the cutout ball for the former Tiger. Masters. Boyd wraps him up, ball and all.
He's done a good job tonight defensively, Darius Boyd on Masters. Him and Milford.
Well, it has to happen here. They need something on this play. And up goes Farnworth, but it's taken by Dunn. It's 6 more. Mitchell Dunn! And yes, he's over! Wow! We had a grandstand finish! Gary Sutton. Knock on Broncos.
We have a try. Looking at the contest, ensuring there's no knock-on from the Cowboys.
An interesting reaction there from Mitchell Dunn. Did he just give away his poker hand?
Kick chase as clear as being onside.
It's Herbie Farnworth.
Does that come off Hampton's hand? There, yeah.
That's a knock-on.
That's a knock-on.
Dunn saw it.
Just there.
Ben Hampton's right hand contacts the ball and propels the ball forward into a Brisbane player, which constitutes a knock-on.
We've been right to a thrilling finish. But no one can argue with that call. That was clearly a knock-on.
And Brisbane have been the better team tonight. Let's be fair to them and their supporters. They've been the better team.
Sure
Sit down, shut up.
and again when these two sides realise all these drama.
And that was a kill as well.
The class drop was going to play in his favour, or her favour. But yeah.
What was that?
That was a kill as well. Bloody hell, right. Oh my god. You think they'll be better behaved?
Actually plenty of him in 2020. So the Broncos here, I noticed in the previous set, Pangai was very careful of having the ball looked out of his hands, and there's Carrigan. And they carry it like rainbacks in the last minute or two.
Almost kind of hard up there.
Both arms around the ball. Throw goes straight to ground. It's been a terrific night. A try which will be replayed over and over. A David Fafita special. And Haas gets up on that. We saw Val Holmes return to the NRL. We saw Brodie Croft acquit himself very well as the Brisbane number 7. And not easy shoes to fill. So far, so good. And Haas has just about had enough. What a night from him. And what a performance from the Brisbane Broncos. They start 2020 in style. You can celebrate, young man. You were superb. And Brodie Croft was very good as well. At the party, it's a quiet party in Townsville. The Brisbane Broncos have beaten the North Queensland Cowboys 28 points to 21.
And the first Queensland derby of 2020 belongs to the Broncos. Greg Alexander, Sam Burgess and Corey Parker. Tonight's game lived up to all the hype and expectation. Corey, as an assistant at the Broncos, you could not have asked for a better start than that.
Yeah, it was always nice to get away to a win for 2020, and particularly up there was a big occasion as we see some of the tries here. I mean, the Broncos were first out the gates with Turpin before the Cowboys struck back, and then Katoni Staggs left the field early with some cramps, but until that point he was imposing himself.
12 the stylist. If it's drew a gate, I would have bumped it right up the order. The stylist ran really well at Flemington 2 starts ago, and the Caulfield effort was in a much harder race. Then numbers 1 and 8 have got hopes. Hard race to finish on. Foxy Lady I'm going with. Why not?
Yeah, number 9 or 10.
Good on you, Guesty. Thank you. 10, 9, 5 and 12. And a big thank you to Terry Bailey at Moonee Valley for helping us out. Here's the last.
She's been racing well, but not quite as well as she has done in previous preps. All set. They're ready to run the last of the Valley. All-Star Mile tomorrow at Caulfield. And the gates are back, they're racing. Foxy Lady only fair away. The stylist came out humming. Ancestry goes up and takes the lead away from this. Settling third, Carlingford. Forbid Me Not coming across over Sona Reed, then Atalicia. They were followed by Cuban Tonight. Well back in the run, Mr. Cano. Foxy Lady, when she didn't begin that flash, they went hard early. She's back second last and 2 or 3 sides in. Through the 800-metre corner they go. The leader is Ancestry from the stylist and Carlingford. Forbid Me Not's out in no man's land. Sonary on the fence over Cuban Tonight at Alicia. Mr. Cano back on the fence. Foxy Lady gives the speed about 5 or 6 and 2 the side in. Ancestry the front runner, giving them something to run down in the last, leading and travelling well. The stylist a neck away, then Carlingford. Sonary getting up on the fence too. This leader's going well. Further back in the field, Forbid Me Not. Foxy Lady looking for somewhere to go. Ancestry dropped them coming around the bend. All of a sudden, 2, 3 in front. Running on the outside is the stylist, then Foxy Lady getting into the clear, and Cuban Tonight. But Ancestry is living right up to his lineage. He's going to absolutely bolt in, won by 3 lengths. Second prize the stylist, and third to Foxy Lady from either Zidane or Carlingford, then Cuban Tonight, Mr. Cano. At Alicia well back, Forbid Me Not, and Sonary last in.
Ancestry all over a winner there, dominant in the last from Moonee Valley. Ancestry gets the cash in the last by the Brothers War out of a Tail of the Cat mare called Maltese, $3.70 and $1.80 bolts up in the last. Young up next. Before we head there, a big thank you to Mark Guest from our Melbourne studio for helping us out this evening. Guesty, thank you to you. And do you have a tip in the All-Star Mile for tomorrow?
Well, we saw all the leaders win tonight, so not all of them, but up on the speed. So I'm thinking